Somewhere down, I think about 2-3 years down my bachelor's degree in business administration, I realized that this wasn't the field for me. I mean, I could not have imagined myself as a 9-to-5 person.
जब आपने ये फील्ड ज्वाइन की बैक in 2010 तो किस तरह के challenges सामने आए?
I'm the only woman in the newsroom right now. My work is a stress buster. My work is a stress reliever. Ehsan Khan and I, we started our careers together almost, and we instantly became friends. And now it's been so long that now we are the best of friends.
Hello and welcome to TheCorrespondent.pk. I am your host Aisha Sadiqa, and आज हमारे शो की गेस्ट हैं Miss Saira Agha. She is a lifestyle editor at Daily Times, aka Miss DT. She has an experience of almost 12 years, and आज हम बात करेंगे उनसे, उनकी struggle, उनकी journey, and what she has to say to the young generation. तो आइए उनसे बात करते हैं. Hello Saira, कैसी हैं आप?
बिल्कुल ठीक ठाक आयशा. Thank you for having me on the show.
You're welcome for coming. And सबसे पहले we'll start with कि हमारी audience को आप बताएं अपनी journey के बारे में, कि how you came into the field of journalism.
Okay, so on and so forth. Well, Aisha, I started out when I was 22. I was still a business student. I was in university, and that was 12 years ago, I think around 2010. So I joined media industry when the newspaper business was still relevant. It was still a sensation. People still liked to pick up a glossy magazine and flip through the pages and hold a newspaper, which barely cost like 15-20 rupees. So I was definitely a novice because I was a business student. I did not have any knowledge about how to edit, or I didn't even know what an editor was. So I started out then.
So, you said that you had no experience or you had nothing.
None.
So what inspired you?
Somewhere down, I think about 2-3 years down my bachelor's degree in business administration, I realized that this wasn't the field for me. I mean, I could not have imagined myself as a 9-to-5 person sitting on one desk and just handling accounts and stuff like that. And then I also realized that my strength was writing. I enjoyed reading. I was a bookworm. I had this humongous library in my home, and I used to spend most of my time over there. And then my teachers started giving me this amazing feedback that in freshman English, I wrote some really nice essays. So they told me that that was my strength. And so I realized that maybe I should also pursue a career in which my strength lies. So just one day out of nowhere, I saw an opening in a newspaper, and I applied, and that changed my life forever.
So that's very interesting because I feel like कि a person जो उस चीज़ में वो अच्छा है उसको वही करना चाहिए.
Definitely.
Never giving into the pressure of कि बचपन से क्या सोचा था या parents ने क्या सोचा था उससे. So that's very interesting and inspiring as well कि आप अपनी strengths को देखो and then do what you want to do. So talking about strengths, I feel like there are certain challenges to every profession, especially women, because we live in a male-dominant society.
Definitely.
So tell us about कि जब आपने ये field join की back in 2010, तो किस तरह के challenges सामने आए?
Okay.
Or how did you cope with them?
Basically, I'll talk about two challenges. One is related to media rise and fall in general. And the other challenge, professionally speaking, and the other challenge I will talk about working in not just a male-dominated society, but working in a male-dominated office also. So let's just shed light on that first. To date, as we speak, it's been 12 years since I've been working here, and my office remains a male-dominated office. I'm the only woman in the newsroom right now. I also feel that you are as secure as your environment keeps you, and you're as secure as your employers keep you.
These are some physical challenges that one faces.
The other challenge that I would like to shed some light on. Yeah, so it's just like I said, 12 years ago, social media and electronic media, for that matter, hadn't exploded onto the scene like that. People did not even have smartphones back then. I mean, we had those normal phones. and magazines and newspapers, they were on the rise, right? Some people were Dawn loyalists, some people were Daily Times loyalists, and Tribune and Nation, and all of these newspapers were very, very relevant, and they were the leaders of the market. But I feel that as time went on and social media exploded onto the scene, people started having smartphones, and then they had news and news stories and those breakages in the palm of their hands. They didn't have to go all the way to buy a paper or a magazine. I mean, they had those things coming in from international newspapers. I mean, you in just one tap or in just one click, you could access whatever you want to do. So that has been a little challenging if you talk about financial front, if you talk on the financial front. And I remember that there were days when not just my newspaper, but every newspaper and publication in Pakistan was facing a financial crunch. But I feel that Daily Times over the years has created a readership loyalty, and we persevered, and it was a resilient newspaper, and here we are.
So moving on, like I was saying, the physical challenges se hatke, there are mental challenges, emotional challenges to the excessive long working hours, the stress se cope karna and everything.
Right.
So that is something I feel like not only the working women but everyone in the society feels, and it is still a taboo in our society. No one wants to talk about the stress and the emotional strain that we are having on our bodies and the impact of it on ourselves. So tell us उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा बता करें, because I feel like कि fast paced world और तेजी से चलने वाली दुनिया में उसके साथ cope करने के लिए we do not take care of our emotional and mental state health.
That's true. Aisha, for me, my work is a stress buster. My work is a stress reliever or a stress relief or whatever you may call it. I have gone on record talking about mental health and anxiety issues and depression that women face, and harboring negativity in many of my other interviews. I feel that every woman should work. Because I have seen the most educated and accomplished women harboring negativity after they get married just because they are not working. You know, it's like a waste of their education. When a woman comes out of a home and she starts working, 50% of her anxieties or the stress or the problems that she faces at home, she puts it behind. And she comes to work and she focuses, or at least tries to focus. For me, it's been the same. Yes, definitely.
So, since you love your work so much, we would want to know, okay, what is your most memorable piece of work that you have worked on?
Well, I remember my first story would always be very memorable to me because that would always be like my first baby. I covered this theatre play. It was called Taming of the Shrew. It starred Nadia Jameel and Umair Rana, and I've forgotten the directors, but it was my first story that I ever did, and I realized that I could write, you know. Usse pehle to you just write essays in your school and your college, etc. But that was the one in which I claimed my byline. So, but I feel the most memorable one would be when I interviewed Abdul Sattar Ebi a couple of years back, before his passing, obviously, and it was very inspirational. I felt that here was one person who was devoid of any glamour or any desire for publicity, and he was just there raw in his true self, telling me about how content he was with his life. Secondly, I would say Saeed Akhtar, the artist. He was pretty amazing too, and Mustansar Hussain Tarar also. Yeah.
So speaking about that, you've worked with so many influential people, and since you're a lifestyle editor, I hope you've worked with many celebrities.
Definitely.
So tell us, उनके क्या नखरे होते हैं, किस तरह से आप उनको approach करते हैं, do they give time easily?
Okay.
Who was the most humble celebrity that you met?
Okay, so when I started out, because I was a novice, So it was always me trying to chase that celebrity around, trying to get their numbers, then trying to get a hold of them, setting up a time with them, uske baad mein making a draft of their interview, and then also doing my research and homework at home also before I go out to interview them. I remember that was a bit of a challenge. Yes, that was. I mean, it's exhausting chasing people around just to interview them and to get a nice story. But since I have put in the hard yards and it's been more than a decade now. Now it's the other way around.
So now they come to you.
Now they come to me. They're PR people. They approach me. Sometimes I reply. Sometimes I don't reply, according to depending upon my convenience. So I'm so glad that the struggling days are over, and now I have achieved that status when I don't have to run around, and they come to me for their work.
Yeah. So this is again example ke shuru ke kuch saal mushkil hote hain, then it becomes
to answer your question about the nakhra part, yes, there has been a time when I've been so frustrated with most of these people, which I don't want to name right now, but they are well-known people. I've had some terrible experiences also, but I have somehow managed to keep my calm and be cool about it, because I thought that if I lost my temper now, it's going to be talk of the town. So I might as well just, and if you talk about humble, Ehsan Khan and I, we started our careers together almost, and we instantly became friends, and now it's been so long that now we are the best of friends. So he was an amazing person, very humble, very down to earth. So at the top of my head, I can only think of Ehsan right now.
That's really nice. So you made great friends over the years as well in the field. So I think that's the perk of working in this field, that you get to meet so many new people, you get to make them friends, and you get to see the negativity as well and how you can stay away from that negativity. So khatam karte hue apne interview ko, I would just want you to say some inspiring words for young women out there who want to come into this field, who want to pursue journalism, but have different ideas in their mind, so they can.
Well, Aisha, I wouldn't just talk about journalism. It's just what I said earlier, that every woman should work. Every woman needs to come out of her home and earn a living for herself. If she is waiting around, waiting for some other person to come and make her dreams come true, like buy her stuff or take her out or take her to fancy vacations or take her to fancy restaurants, I hope that happens for you. But you need to come out and make all of these dreams happen for yourself. Be your own person.
Thank you, Saira, for being with us today. So that was Saira from the Daily Times with us today, and I hope you guys enjoy the show. We'll be back with another guest another time. Stay tuned.